Hi, and welcome to Travels with Phil. I'm Phil Constantine, and on this episode, we are going to be in New York State, a little bit southwest of Albany, or Albany, whatever way you want to pronounce it, the John Thacher State Park, the Helderberg Escarpment, and the Indian Ladder Trail. You can see on the mark here where it's located, that's Albany over to the right. And as you move in a little bit, you'll see that the John Thacher State Park includes the Helderberg Escarpment and the Indian Ladder Trail. Not sure how they pronounce it because they spell it both ways, Helderberg and Heldeberg. I've said ladders or signs out there have it with an R in the middle and an R not in the middle. But it's an interesting spot out here. The John Boyd Thacher State Park makes up a fair amount of the escarpment. So let's take a look out here first at the escarpment itself. It's very, very nice. You've got a spot out here where it just pops up out of the lower surrounding valleys and area. And so it gives you an excellent, excellent view of lots of the part here of New York that's, again, to the west and a little bit of the southwest of Albany. And it is a very nice place. They have lots of interpretive signs out there. They have playgrounds, so it's also meant as just a regular kind of park where people can come out and have picnics, play. There's a lake not too far away. In the wintertime, it snows out there, so you can get a little bit of cross-country skiing in, as well as the beautiful views out there. Now, I was there in 2016, so let's go take a look at one of the videos I shot out there on the scene. All right, Travels with Phil continues in I believe the John Thacher State Park, which is south of Albany. And you can see by the sign here, this is called the Helderberg Escarpment. Basically, these are cliffs that range anywhere from 800 to 1,300 feet above sea level. And there's a spot out here called the Indian Ladder, which is how the Indians, Mohawks, or Shohati, as they listed here. The trail begins in Albany, goes over these, and then down to Fox Creek, and then ends into Shohari. Well, this is the escarpment. And this is very impressive. It's about the most impressive escarpment I've seen since maybe Lookout Mountain in Chattanooga. You see the entire Albany and Mohawk valleys out here. Very nice. I'll zoom in on a couple spots over here. It's always hard for me to see in the camera here, but those tall buildings are Albany. So they're in the haze, but that's Albany, New York over there. Vermont in the distance. You can see the escarpments themselves. Those are many miles away out there. So very, very impressive. Thatcher Park. And I thought I'd show you again a little zoom in here on the city. The haze out there covers up most of the buildings that you can't see very well. But here's a map, both a picture and a map showing what's what out in the distance. You can always go to my website, and you'll see that down in the description below, so you can see these still pictures and take your ease at looking through them, or pause this one. All right, here's another video. All right, they just decided to start cutting the dirt out here. This is the map that shows where everything's at. They're building a new visitor center or something like that in the background, that noise you hear. And there's several good views up here. It curves around in several places. Pretty flowers as well. I have more flowers at the end. Thatcher Park. The Helderberg Escarpment. Helderberg. Again, I'm not sure which way it's pronounced. So let's take a look over at what is called the Indian Ladder Trail here inside the park. Lots of markers out there, and it's a well-known spot. It's not anything secret about it. Now, several people have been hurt here. There have been rock falls out here. On many occasions, people have been hit, and one or two people have died when they got knocked off the trail or seriously injured from a rock falling off on them. So it's just something you do have to take in caution anytime you're walking on a trail underneath a cliff. Here's a video. Travels with Phil continues from Thatcher Park. This is the Indian Ladder Trail. You can see it goes right up against the cliffs here. Now, they say that when the Mohawks used to come from Albany, coming out here toward the, I guess what would be the southwest out of the valley, they would cut down a tree get rid of most of the branches and use it to climb up part of the cliffs. And so now the state's come in and put in extra trails and things like that, but people used to bring buggies and things up this trail to come out of the valley, to come up toward the areas on the top of the cliff face there. But very impressive. And then there's the valley out in the distance. Like most of these trails, you have to watch out for poison ivy. John Thacher Park on the Indian Ladder Trail. So let's take a look at another section of the cliffs here. With Phil from Thatcher Park continues here on the Indian Ladder Trail. This says the changing face of the cliff. And right here it talks about sponges right there. That's the name of them. Stromatoporoids. And they grew in here and they get sort of clumpy like that. Alright, well you look at here, very layered right through there. And you move up. And then you can see the clumpies. And then back up above, you get back to the layers again. So let's come around. Now this is called a joint. Crack, take your choice. A little bit of cave up there toward the top. A little bit of a hole there. And just look at all these layers. These are all different layers that were rock, that were laid over the, the eons here. Every one of these different layers of rock. Phil continues on the Indian Ladder Trail. Now this right here is an underground stream that literally comes out of the rock face. What it does, it travels through the rocks. You see it over here, traveling through the rocks. And Fool's Crawl Cave here. Talking about fossils. But here you go. This is the basic spot here. Spot where the ladder comes through. So the water is coming down through there. Comes out there. Now this right here shows you this same spot in 1914. Fool's Crawl Cave. So if you thought you were going to call in there and get into a deeper cave, you were a bit of a fool. Not a lot of water, but water is still water. See it trickling down below me here. This drips off. Peaceful scene. It'd be nice to go exploring down there. Unfortunately, there's poison ivy everywhere. So, probably not the best thing to do. Now, one of the things you do have to be careful about on cliffs is when the occasional rock falls down. Yeah. You don't want to be here when the rock falls down. And just around the corner here, you can see several more spots where there have been rock falls. You can hear the water as well. Now sometimes even the water itself can contribute to the weakness in the rock, can help it split apart. There you go. Some more of that, and even just a little bit further around the corner here, some more water trickling out of the cliff face. See it coming up from the cliff there. Trickles down here. Another one over there, and you can see the ferns growing up in the cracks here before it trickles down the side. Now, whether or not those are rock falls, or whether or not that was something that the people who manufactured this, or did some extra work on it to the state, came through and did that, don't know. That's pretty much natural right there. But more waterfalls in this area here. Travels with Phil. Indian Ladder Trail, Thatcher Park, New York. And a few more pictures here taken in various spots. They do close it. The Daughters of the American Revolution do a little work out here. And there's a spot also called Torrey Cave, which I couldn't get into. It wasn't accessible at the time that I was there. But they're working on, again, the new visitor center there, which is now completed. They were working on it when I was there. And, again, several other curves or several other spots here where you can see the nice view in the distance. And then just a few finishing photos here of some flowers that were very nice there in the time that I was there, which was in July during the summertime. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up by clicking on the button below. You're welcome to leave comments below as long as the language is family friendly. And finally, if you'd like to see more of my videos, please subscribe to my channel by clicking the button over on the bottom right-hand corner. Thank you again for watching.